Welcome. We're back again. Today is, what is today even? The 19th, November 19th, 2025. It is the week before, or is the week of Avatar release, right? It releases this Friday. Um, and so we're doing another Avatar card. This one is the green Avatar. You can tell because he has earth bending. He can bend the earth. Therefore, he is the green Avatar. The Boulder, ready to rumble. This card's pretty cool. I don't think I've done a mono green thing in a while. I love mono green stuff. For those of you not familiar with the ancient Derek lore, um, I'm definitely the foremost expert master of mono green decks in this format. Um, and that's not just me saying it, it's also me saying it again, so twice. Oh my good lord, what is this advertisement on Moxfield right now? Give me 1 second. Just gonna refresh the page. And we're back. Okay, so we got a 4 mana 4/4 human warrior performer. He's a wrestling man. Whenever the boulder attacks, Earthbend X, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater. Earthbending, basically, for those of you who don't know, you make your land a 0. You choose a land you control, becomes a 0/0. You put X 1/1 counters on it, and it has haste. Then when that land dies, there's exiled. It comes back to the battlefield tapped. So this is just going to turn our lands into creatures every turn it attacks, which gives us a couple interesting incentives in terms of what we want to put in the deck. A couple things to note here. First, we want creatures with power 4 or greater, so we can scale up our earthbending triggers. We also want to play a lot of ramp, because the thing that you'll probably run into if you don't build specifically for it is you will turn all your lands into creatures and you will have no lands with which to cast your spells. Because this does not give your lands like vigilance or anything. They just get haste. As a function of letting them still tap for mana if they've entered that turn, more or less. So we're going to want a lot of lands on the battlefield, so we have enough to turn into creatures, and then enough to still cast our spells. So a couple different angles we'll be shooting for here. Also a couple little neat little numbers that don't see a ton of play in the format that will be pretty cool, or at least pretty synergistic in this deck. That power level aside are just worth including because they're neat and you don't see those cards very often, which is like a big draw of the format. So in like any singleton format, right? Any social singleton format like this. Welcome to Much Do, Bill, as always. Glad you're here. All right. The first thing we're going to do, just to get these cards out of the way, we're going to search for cards that have the text of land, creature, just like that. Commander Green, rarity common. It's going to bring up everything that involves lands and creatures and turning lands into creatures, which we're going to be particularly interested in. So things like Brave the Wilds, even though this is not quite the card that we want. When you bargain, it turns a land you control into a 3/3 elemental creature with haste. A better example is Hello, feeling better. I am having a wonderful evening. I am indeed feeling better. I was sick pretty recently. What is the card I'm thinking of? It is Disturb Slumber. This card. So until end of turn, a land you control becomes a 4/4 dinosaur creature with reach and haste. You might be asking yourself, wait a second. Our lands are already creatures. Why are we doing this? Because this makes the base power toughness of that land a 4/4, and the Boulder puts +1/+1 counters on your creatures. So essentially what this does is it gives your land creatures +4/+4. It turns into a 4/4. So if we Earthbend for 2, uh, see, we're all feeling better. With your land creatures, this is 0/0 with X1 counters. So we Earthbend for 2, let's say. We have a 0/0 with 2/1/1 counters. Our land is functionally a 2/2. We cast Disturb Slumber on it. Turns that land into a 4/4 with 2/1/1 counters on it. Now it's a 6/6. There's a couple cards that do this, and I want to play all of them because that's cool. It's like a little pump spell. It's like Titanic Growth, except except it's for lands, which is cooler. So we'll do, what is that? Disturb. There's a couple of these cards. There's a couple instants that do this. There's also a couple auras that turn our lands into creatures that'll have the same effect, just giving it like a good base power toughness. Also, like Crash Rhino Beetles, Dance Tumbleweeds. These cards are probably going to be pretty good here too. Elemental Uprising is another one from this. The one that there's from Jumpstart, but it's from one of the Zendikar sets. Elemental Rising? Yeah, Uprising, that's the one. Same thing, makes the thing a 4/4. In this case, an elemental. Um, if it must be blocked if able, so it's also like a combat trick to kill something if you want to. It's pretty cool. Um, Sacrifice. None of these cards are like super. We're gonna have to play a lot of like these creatures like Farhaven Elves, and I'll explain why when we get to them. Um, there aren't a lot of like green instant sorcery ramp spells that I like better than those. For pretty specific reasons that are unique to mono green. Um, let's see. Yeah, a lot of these things that control 7 or more lands will probably end up playing because they just get huge for free, basically. Um, Landfall stuff is not like that's a whole nother can of worms. We don't even need to touch that stuff. Harmonious Emergence, 4 mana makes a thing of makes it, it's a land, makes the land a 4/5 spirit with vigilance and haste. Vigilance is particularly sweet. Again, it has the text of if the land would be destroyed, you sacrifice the aura and give it indestructible. So it's functionally similar to um, the earthbending mechanic, except it doesn't like leave and then enter the battlefield tapped or whatever. It just gains indestructible. So we'll play Harmonious Emergence. I'm sure there's something that you can do with earthbending where like you can earthbend your creatures and sacrifice them to have them re-enter and gain landfall triggers. Like there's a green black card that earthbends a bunch. You probably do something like that with. This is much more straightforward. Um, this is much more my speed. That seems, I mean, honestly, I might try and build a deck that does something like that because that sounds pretty cool. But this is a different one. This one is different. Migratory Greathorn, same kind of thing, right? We can mutate onto our lands, which is pretty neat. So give our land a base 3/4, searches up another land. I think Migratory Greathorn's pretty sick. It's just like a really good card in general. You know, mutating it onto any value creature, any kind of like Elvish Visionary, Sylvan Ranger, any kind of thing that enters and gets you a card. Turning it into a 3/4 that gets you a land seems like a good time to me. And in this deck, it just gives your land a higher base power toughness. Let's see. Nature's Embrace is interesting because we fulfill both triggers, right? As long as enchanted permanent is a creature, it gets +2/+2. As long as it's a land, it taps to add 2 mana. It's pretty funny. Kind of antithetical to what we're doing, right? Because we want to be attacking, so like the add 2 mana doesn't really make much of a difference here. So this is Zendikon. Oh god, these Moxfield ads are just absurd. It's like the whole border of the screen. I now am the advertisement, it seems. Goodness gracious. Pressure Wanderer should be basically near a town, put a 1/1 counter. So it's pretty good. I don't think it's in the kind of what I wanted to hear though. Primal Growth seems actually kind of sick. Reason being is that we can sacrifice. Okay, so get this. Primal Growth is a 3 mana get a land. It's like Untamed Wilds, right? Like pretty basic. However, you can kick up by sacrificing a creature to get 2 lands. They enter untapped, importantly, but we can sacrifice an earthbended land to have it immediately return tapped, and then just get 2 free lands on the top of it. So really, it's just 3 mana, get 2 lands, which is pretty good. The threshold for a non-creature spell giving us ramp is probably going to have to like put us up +2 lands. Again, I'll explain why when we get there. Right now, I just want to get these things in here first, the things that care about my lands. I get a little lost in the sauce sometimes. Yeah, you can after combat, exactly. Any kind of like sacrificing your creatures for stuff is really, really good because it's free. Green doesn't have a lot of ways to do that, though. Not a lot of sacrifice outlets. Like Ashnod's Altar is like obviously like the big one, but I don't think there's really anything noteworthy in the actual green color pie. At common, at least. There's some pretty cool ones. Like once you get up a rarity stepped on common. Like Starved Rusalka. They need to downshift that card. 1 green, 1/1 spirit from I think it's from Dissension or Guild Pact. And you can pay green, sack a creature, gain a life. Just like a repeatable sack outlet, it's pretty cheap. Enter sacrifice unless you sacrifice a land. That's pretty cool. It's a 3/2, so we kind of get rid of the downside. We're not casting it on Kerr on turn one, obviously, because that kind of sucks. And it doesn't have 4 power, which also kind of sucks. So this card's kind of a miss, but it's a cool synergy, that's for sure. Discard a lane card. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Sacrifice lane. Oh, yeah, Spring Blue Druid, yeah. Well, I don't really want to do the landfall stuff. Here's a play. Oh, this animates lands. That's pretty interesting. It's just earth bends too, basically. Pretty neat. Oh, Vastwood Zendikon. There's another one. This one turns our land into a 6/4. Like that. Vengeant Earth. Oh, there's more of these than I actually thought. See, that's the thing is like nobody thinks about these cards. They're just like in random sets, and nobody cares about them. And then you get one commander that's just like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool, and then you have to find them all again. You know. Okay. That's fine. All right, let's look at. So what we got? We got 9 cards. 8 cards that actually do the thing. I'm gonna have to refresh this page every 5 seconds, aren't I? Holy smokes. Okay, let's look at creatures with power 4 or greater. Creature power equal to, greater than or equal to 4. And we're gonna search it by mana value. We want to try and set up as many of these cards as we can before the Boulder starts attacking, so we can like kind of maximize our count. Biograph is an auto include. This card's sick. This is exactly the synergy I was talking about with Scythe Tiger. It costs 5. Oh my god, this advertisement. It costs 5 mana unless you sacrifice a creature when you cast it, and we can sacrifice our earth-bended lands to do that. So pretty free. Obviously, we're not casting out a curve. It's not a 2-drop really, but it's cool. It has power 4 or greater, which is what we want out of Scythe Tiger anyway. You know, so seems decent. Yeah, a lot of these cards are going to come in at 3 mana or higher, but there's a lot of them. Let's see, which ones do I like the most? Alpine Grizzly is kind of like the baseline, right? It's just a 4/2 vanilla for 3. There's a lot of other ones too. Ambush Wolf is a great one from Foundations. It just like has flash. It exiles a card from a graveyard, so it's like a trick as well. It has a little functionality beyond just like being a high power creature. Champion of Doosan is also sick because this is one that fulfills our condition. And also, if it dies, we can exile it to put a counter on something, which is awesome. You know, I'm not even opposed to playing something like Giant Ladybug, to be honest. This is kind of like the bad mechanic of putting a land on top of your library rather than into your hand, which is not great, admittedly. However, we do want more lands because then we can just turn them into creatures, and it's a 4-power creature, so this seems fine by me. Giant Ladybug. Oh, hold on, while I'm thinking about it, let's just get Ranger's Path and Sky Shard Claim in here too. Just big ol' ramp spells. Just get 2 lands, search up 2 forests. Okay, what else we got here? We got some Reachers. Next card's a 4/4 Defender. I mean, that's fine, honestly. Nothing says they need to attack, right? They just need to have 4 power. This one's great. Thawbringer enters or leaves, you surveil. There's also like there's a number of sets that have like a red-green like 4 power plus matters sub theme or whatever, like or limited theme, which we can definitely lean into a little bit. All right, I definitely want some more 3 drops because I want to at least have 1 on the battlefield earthbending for 2 at the least when I cast that thing. Drover Grizzly seems good. We're bound to have creatures that do not have 4 power because we need a high creature count, and they can't all be these. So we can saddle this, attack, give everything trample. I like that too, especially when everything has like 4 power plus. Like even if they trade in combat, you're trampling for a lot of damage. What is this? What does this turn into? A 5/5, but we have to craft it with a cave. Yeah, no thanks. I like that you get to, get a land, but we could, next card's kind of disappointing. We could play Loathsome Chimera. This one comes back for more, which I kind of like. A little value there. Yeah. I knock Artillers might not be bad either. Because, I mean, shouldn't be able to put a counter on stuff. This Mills, which is not like something that I'm excited about. Not in this deck at least. Play like Grasping Long Neck and not find Recluse just because they have reach. We'll play Crow next card too. Just want to get the count up, That's one thing I love about this format is like when you need to hit a metric, you can just keep like finding bottom of the barrel creatures to do it, and they're not bad because they're doing something useful for your deck. Like Croak Nest Guard, this card sucks. I mean, it's a 3-mana 4/4 defender that kind of is not great, and then you have to pay 3 mana to attack with it. But in this deck, you just want it to sit on the battlefield so you can Earthbend for 1 higher. You just scrape the bottom of the barrel for playables, and they're totally fine. All right, let's start there. We probably need to. I have a feeling we'll need to fall back on like the vanillas, but let's go higher. Let's go to the 4s. Bellowing Elk is pretty cool. Oh, Bloom Hulk is sick. Proliferate stuff's going to be really good here. Welcome, Miles. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, the 4s. Yeah, let's get some 4s. Let's get a Bellowing Elk and a Bannerhide Shot. Bellowing Elk is just like, it's always indestructible. It just attacks for free. For those who don't know, as long as a creature entered, it has indestructible that turn. And Bannerhide Shock is just a great flexible card. It's just a 4/4 trample for 4, which is reasonable. I'm not against that. You can reinforce, and then you can scavenge with it too. A lot of things you can do with that card. Anyway, Bull Elephant returns force. We don't really need to do that. I like Bull Elephant though. Combos with Eudora and Eudora decks. All right, let's get a Bloom Hulk in here. Proliferating is sweet with all of our lands. Again, not really interested in landfall stuff. We'll play Crown Ceratok. There are a handful of these cards too that give all of our things with +1/+1 counters trample. We'll play the ones that have power greater than 4, for sure. Yeah, I'll play Crown Ceratok. Alright. What is this water bending thing? 4 mana, 4/3. I don't hate this. Because I feel like a lot of the time we're not going to just be like slamming in with all of our 4/2s. And being able to put them towards like putting a counter on this seems decent to me. Ferocious Werewolf is actually quite good out with that one. Monster roll token is really good. Let's see. Giant Beaver. This card's pretty good. Hazard of the Dunes. It's a good one too. Okay, let's get Giant. We'll come back to that. I kind of want things that I'm more excited about, honestly. Lurking Green Dragon is a card that always kind of tickles me, but I've never actually put it in a deck because there's a pretty hefty drawback, and I don't think there's a way to cheat it. Professional Wrestler enters, makes a treasure. Yeah, we'll play this one. Like, creatures that just bring a little bit of value. Professional Wrestler is 1. Pathfinding Axe draws another. It explores. So let's see more cards, which I like. Because we're not like... Imperiosaur is pretty cool. This is not a deck that cares as much about raw rate. I've played this card in many decks. I want it to do something in a deck like this, which is why I'm probably not going to play it here. I played it. It's really good in like Goreclaw, something like that. I've played it in Goreclaw deck, and it's insane. like Saigu Pummeler, for example, is a 4-mana 4/4. It's not a 4-mana 5/5 like Imperiosaur. However, it does have reach, and we do get extra use out of it if it's in our graveyard. So a card like this I value a lot higher. But I do like an Imperiosaur, I'm not gonna lie. Oozewag is good. We don't need like a ton of these things. Just like a couple things to give our stuff trample. Oh, and this gives elementals trample. And Boulder turns them into elementals, right? No. It's just a land. Bummer. If it was an elemental, that'd be sweet. Ooh, this one's sick. Twisted Spider Clone. This puts a counter on each creature so it basically proliferates. Yeah, I like that. Twisted Speeder Clone. There we go. Urban Dagger Tooth is also good because, like, worst case scenario, we attack once with this thing, it gets blocked and dies, but we get to proliferate, which seems decent to me. I like that. We're playing a lot of mana, so like Wildheart Invoker might be good. Let's get some forest in here, actually. Forest. Be like a 38er. Lands are good. Now we up to the 5s. Oh, Badger Mole's like a great one. Okay. So this one Earthbends too. Badger Mole. 5-mana 4/4 ETB Earthbend 2. Creatures with 1/1 counters of trample. I like that. If you're not me, play Avenging Hunter. I don't want to play it because I don't have to. I don't want to have to cart around like an extra Undercity and track it. I don't want to track this card. It's just a personal thing. Power level wise, this card's really, really good. It's really, really good and belongs in every green deck because it generates a ton of card advantage. But I'm not going to put it in this deck because I don't want to track it. That's it. Simple as that. You can do that, by the way, when you're building decks. You can just refuse to play cards because you don't like them. Or you don't want to deal with it. I do that all the time. Beanstalk Worm I like. Adventure cards are great. Gives us things to do. We have a lot of lands, so the plant beans, half of it, is probably going to get some use. Oh, Conclave Naturalist. Just like a Disenchant. This card's really good. Really great green card. Crash Rhino Beetles, just like the biggest thing that's ever been big. Let's put that in here. This card's fun. This card's never a bad time. Not doing landfall. Not doing landfall. Sorry, Elsworn Giant. You know I love you. Yeah, no. Initiative is really, really powerful in this format because it's like a planeswalker. It does so much, and it's so not balanced around commons. You could really, really tell. So like in most decks where you can play initiative, it's generally like correct to do so. But I'm not going to do that here. I play it in the decks where like I care about winning. I'll play stuff like that. But if I'm just looking to have a good time, the fewer things to track is generally better. You have a lot more mental energy to put towards what's happening in front of you rather than just like keeping track of all of these different disparate things. It gives you more focus on what's happening on the battlefield, lets you engage with your opponents more. You just get out of your head a little bit when you don't have like 100 things to pay attention to. Same thing with Monarch, right? Like I like the fact that these things drive combat, but when that's always a piece of calculus that you have to run in your brain whenever you're making any kind of combat decision, it's just not something that I want to track in most games anyway. How does Warp interact with what we're doing? I love Warp. I love this card. We could just like, you know what? I like this because we can double spell and like maybe like eke out an extra +1/+1 counter on our earthbending and then just cast it again later. I think that's neat. It's a cute interaction. German. And cute interactions. I think there's nothing more appealing in a game of Commander, Pauper or otherwise, than having your opponent need to read your cards. I think that's a that's a really, really cool thing. Malmet Veteran is sweet. We're not doing a ton of graveyard stuff, but I will play Nath's Elite. This thing's in win condition. Nath's Elite is a sick one. It has Clash, which is, you know, who cares? But it's like a Taunting Elf with 4 power. This card is a really great way to end a game. Just like Alpha Strike somebody. Mossadon is cool, but no thanks. We'll play Owlbear, cantrips. That's exactly what we want. And Gnarly's Forerunner. Yeah, we'll play those two. How many creatures we got? 28. It's way too few. Owlbear and Nylea's Forerunner. We'll play some stuff to give things indestructible because all of our stuff's got really low toughness. Rock's Oracle, another one. 4/2 ETP draw a card. Rock's Maulers is a really great card if you're looking for a beater that's high on rate. It has trample. It's very easy to get this renowned, and once it is, it's a 6/6 trampler for 5, which is pretty good. That's something that'll just kill people. I mean, I say this all the time. Colossal Dreadmaw is a card that will kill people dead in this format, and like a 6/6 trampler is a game-ending threat. Rocks, what did I say? Rocks what? Rocks Oracle. All right, we're at 78 cards. Let's get up to like 36, 37 creatures, and then we'll go elsewhere. This is a good mana sink. Spectral Hunt Caller. Spider-Man. This Spider-Man's good. Spider Silk Armor's good. I like Spider Silk Armor. Spectral Hunt Caller. This card's a great mana sink. It's expensive, but it gives all your things plus almost 1 trample. It's just a great card. And this Spider-Man is actually really, really good here too. We get to just like replace a thing, get a free land. Yeah, I'm in. Spider-Man. Brooklyn Visionary, that's the one, right? Yeah, okay. Stampeding Elk Herd. I mean, we can go pretty heavy on the stuff that gives us all our creatures trample, right? Fat Chocobo's pretty neat. I don't really want that one though. Let's get Stampeding Elk Herd. Another great way to give all of our creatures trample, and it's just a 5/5 for 5, so like the rate is there. It's like not embarrassing. Got to be getting to the end here. Yeah. I guess we could do like some. We don't really need land cyclers though. Do we need? I kind of want to play some. Just kind of like looking at the rest of these cards. Yeah, we can play some land cyclers. Only the ones that trample. So, for example, like Belam T-Rex whoop, we can play Colossal Dreadmaw. I'm not above that, obviously. Colossal Dreadmaw. I also want to play like a couple. Oh, we'll get Dreadmask too. Yes, please. Just this card's busted. It's the most dumbest thing ever made. What'd I say? Blam. Oh, wait. I'm not going to play Colossal Dreadmaw. Blam T-Rexor is like that, but better. And this does not land cycle. What are the other ones that land cycle? Slavering Branch Snapper. The new one from Avatar doesn't trample, I don't think. But let's get some land cyclers just to top it out. Not this one. Although, yes, that one. Like I said, they don't all have to be combat threats, and this is a good way to generate a lot of extra mana. Greater Tanuki. This one actually ramps you. We'll play a couple draw spells, we'll play a couple removal spells, and then just the rest are just going to be creatures to smooth things out a little bit. Yeah, like this new one, it's cool. It's a 6 mana 7/7 with reach, but it doesn't trample. I like trample. This is the part of the show where we get to be a little bit choosy. Spider Rex is great. Do I want to play that one? Oh, Timberland Ancient, Topiary Panther. We'll play these ones. Yeah. Oh, and Dreadlin Arm. Okay, anyway. Timberland Ancient. Topiary Panther. What else did I say? Oh, Thundering Tendon's actually not bad. But yeah, I don't really care. Don't really care. Not going to overthink it. Play Altasaur and Dreadlord. We're at 89 cards. Shoot. We're going way heavier on creatures than I initially expected, but that's because they're all sick and awesome. Okay, I think we'll probably call it there. The more I look, the more I keep finding stuff I like, unfortunately. Um, Walker of the Grove, we'll do that one. You know what? No, we won't. We're going to be responsible. All right, let's get a couple. Okay, we're going to play a couple of removal spells. Ram through. Um, Metal Bending. Origin of Metal Bending. This is a new one. It's a disenchant or protection spell, which is great. Frontier Mastodon. Oh yeah, that's a good one. You're right. I skipped over that one by accident. For those you don't know, it's a 4 mana 4/3, which has a ferocious trigger. Okay, let's see. That's all we want there. Let's go back. The rest of these. Yeah, we've got our like one removal spell. That's all we need, right? Our removal spell is attacking. Okay, what we can do is now we can make some room. Let's cut like this card. We can cut a couple things. I want to leave most of the 3-drops because I like those. Maybe cut Sagu Pummeler. You know, we don't need Spectral Caller. We've got a lot of ways to give Trample, which I like. Oh, we need Proliferate stuff too. Shoot. Alright, let's get some draw spells. Winding Way. You meet in a tavern. Lead the Stampede. This is why I like most of my spells to be creature spells. Because green decks don't have great ways to go up on cards. You can break even. There are cantrips. You know, you have Owlbear, stuff like that. They'll replace themselves, but you know, it's whatever. These cards are really the only way that you'll just like straight up go up on multiple cards. You can play something, I mean, which isn't necessarily, you know, true, quote unquote. You have other things. There's a fair number of cards that cost 3 mana. You reveal like, or look at the top 4 and get a land and a creature or something like that, and you put them in your hand, which is fine. But this gets you multiple creatures, and those are the things that you need. I guess like looking for lands and creatures is pretty good. Let's cut Winding Way, and we'll play. Let's see. Let's find some more stuff to cut here. Probably don't need Elk Herd. You have a lot of ways to give Trample, and I like all of them on the curve. What's our curve look like? Yeah, this looks pretty good. Pretty heavy on 4s. Let's quickly sort by mana value. We can probably maybe cut a 4 or 2. What do we got? Gift of the Gargantuan. Yeah, stuff like that. 3 mana, draw 2, but one of them's always a land. This deck doesn't really care about that, though, which is a point in favor of those cards. We'll cut the Elk. We'll cut... I think it's a treasure. It's hard to block. I like that. We'll cut the Krishak. I mean, Expert Hydra is just like you play it. You play it for the same reasons that you do Colossal Dread Mask. It's just like a huge thing. Yeah, we should. I mean, I love me an Expert Hydra. I was thinking about it, but there's no reason not to, I guess. Okay, so now we're at 91. So you got 9 cards. Let's get like Gift of the Garg. This is kind of what I'm talking about here. Look at the top 4. You reveal a creature and or land. Put them into your hand. Rest on the bottom. We want lands too, I guess, right? So this card's a little bit better. There's one for Lost Caverns too. Text reveal. green, common, sorcery. Let's play bushwhack. I like me bushwhack. Card sick. We'll play grasping roots, a proliferate spell. What's it called? Thirsting roots. That's what it is. Thirsting roots. We'll play pollen, bright, druid. Okay, 95 cards. All right. Anyway, creature or land. Oh, cultivate's good. We'll play cultivate. We have enough creatures that like we can have some non-creature spells now. I wasn't aware that going into it I didn't expect to want to play this many giant beefers, but that's kind of where we're at. Let's get a Kadama's Reach. What are we at now? We got 3 cards to go. We'll maybe play like one, or maybe we'll play like one more of these draw spells. Malevolent Rumble's pretty good, but actually, yeah, that's just a cantrip though. I want more than one card. Relentless Pursuit, and there's the one from Lost Caverns. Where is it? I don't know where it is. Anyway, yeah, we'll just play that one that I forgot the name of. Reveal. Just want to make sure I'm not missing it here. This is Pilgrimage. We should play Nissa's Pilgrimage too. And Relentless Pursuit, that's the one. Relentless Pursuit. Nissa's Pilg. And let's oh, Courage in Crisis. Presence of Ages, that's the one, Miles, thank you. Presence of Ages. And you know what? Claws of Dread Mask is the best, but we're gonna cut it. We're just gonna do it. You can do that. You have that power as a deck builder to just say, get out of here. Because I want to play these cards instead. Yeah, Courage in Crisis is this card's tons of damage in all of the decks that play it. Basically, it's just like, yeah, it's this one's great. Anyway, what was I looking at? Oh, in Presence of Ages, this was an instant. Reveal top 4 creature or land into your hand, rest in your graveyard. Card's great. All right, we got our auras. We've got all of our creatures. We have 100 cards. Let's get some lands. We want a Darksteel Citadel for sure, because it's indestructible. I don't want to spend too much more time. Well, it's only 7:38. We got some time. Yeah, we're going to play Darksteel Citadel for sure. We'll see what else we have access to here. You know what is actually kind of sick is Hunter Maze. Lands that sacrifice themselves are great. We can Earthbend this card, sacrifice a draw card, we immediately get the land back, right? Yeah. Yeah, so lands that sacrifice to do things are great. We have a monocolor deck, so we have a lot of freedom to play colorless lands. So like these 2 caves, Captivating Cave and Cave of Temptation, sacrifice to put counters on things. And whenever we bend onto them, sacrifice them, we get the land back. We can just do it again. This one makes a zombie. That's a little lower impact, but still pretty good. Let's play that one. It's like if we don't have good attacks with our lands, we can just Oh, we want to put Evolving Wilds. I want to bend onto an Evolving Wilds. and a terramorphic, and a cityscape. Granted, it kind of sucks because it doesn't add mana on its own. Um, yeah, we're moving alphabetically right now, so we'll get there. We'll get there. Okay, let's not play these ones. Let's not play Evolving Wilds, but there's other sack lands that we'll play because they can add colorless mana to actually help us cast our spells. So like not Esper Panorama, but like Jund Panorama. Whoops, hello. You know, pay one, adds colorless, then we can sacrifice to find a forest. Don't really care about Gingerbread Cabin. I mean, it's good. Why not? It's free. I guess it's not going to be that free, right? Because we're going to have a ton of non-forest lands, and I never want this enter tapped. The fail rates on these cards really dissuade me from playing a lot of them. Fangraph and Nursery. You can just keep discovering. Fangraph lets us rebuy our creatures. Naya Panorama will play 2. Rumble Arena, definitely going to play that. Not going to play Quicksand. I know y'all saw me go right past Quicksand, and I did it on purpose. Okay, this is fine. Warp Landscape's another one, but I think we have enough. You know what I'll do now? I kind of want to... Okay. We're going to play 37 lands. And we're going to play us a world map. So we can... Just another way to find our... actually, we'll play Expedition Map too. Because I want both. So we can tutor up these lands should we want to. And let's cut... don't need Explore Hydra. It's great, but we're not doing that. We're going in a much different, cooler direction than Explore Hydra. Than just, random, cards that are good in a vacuum. No, no, no. We're doing more than that. All right, so curve looks pretty decent. Let's steal a hand and tuck in here. Okay. So this is pretty good. We've got land drops we can cycle and then claim and then like start going. So let's keep this. We'll draw for turn here. Forest, perfect. Next turn. Forest, perfect. Cycle this. Get us another forest. Beautiful, love it. Wait, where'd my forest go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Turn 2, yeah, okay. Where's my forest? There we go. Perfect. Next turn. Panorama's great. Let's play that one, and then we'll cast us a Thawbringer, and we're still there 1. And what do I have? I've got these. Let's leave that on top. That's fine. So we'll play Forest. Now we can cast our commander. 1, 2, 3, 4. Gotta follow the rules. This is why they call it earthbending, because you bend your land sideways like this. Look. Now they're earthbended. Now they're not. I bend my earth this way. Bend my earth like that. It all makes sense. It's all coming together. Turn 5. We're going to play an untapped land because we want to play this Oracle. I want to draw a card. Actually, you know what we could even do is we can just do the Axe Jaw and explore. I will leave that one on top and put a counter on this. And we'll attack here, and I've got 3 creatures, so this will be a 3/3. Play Hunter Maze. Let's just Skyshroud Claim. This seems... I like this already, honestly. This is a deck that I kind of want to build in paper, honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest. All right, so then what we'll do is we'll just attack. We'll make this into a 3/3. Whatever, who cares? And I've got 2 more mana. So what we can do is we can hold this up, and then on end step, if we get back to our turn, we can sacrifice this. Oh, into the graveyard. You mean back to the battlefield tapped, and we'll get ourselves another forest to the battlefield. This was a 3/3. What are you talking about? 1, 2, 3. Makes it 3/3. Let's talk about something else. But yeah, we did the thing. Look, we got our extra land, and now we'll untap, and we got a Curtain Crisis, which is quite good. Now it'll start triggering more. So we got our 3/3 land. We got our Naya Panorama. Oh yeah, it's a creature. It's a creature, all right. So we got all this mana. Let's just cast the Ambush Wolf. Just get this out there. Oh no, it's creatures with power 4 or greater. Miles, come on now. I had 3 creatures with power 4 or greater, and I had 3/3. Okay. But now watch this. We're going to attack, and I've got 1. I could even do Courage and Crisis first, right? Put a counter on this. Or rather, no. Counter here, obviously. And then we'll proliferate here, here, and here. Because now what happens is when we attack, we make a 4/4. And this is where we start to just like feed ourselves, right? Because every land that has power 4 or greater from this ability will guaranteed, an extra one. All right, so we've got that. A couple things we can do now, like we can just bend this away. Put in graveyard, boom, enters tapped, get another land. I like this. Land for turn. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, this is why like expedition map and stuff are good because you can just like fish these things out and get the engine going. It's a cool engine. This card's great. So we'll go to combat, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will become 6/6. Let's draw a card. Boop. This feels good. I'm sure, like, if I took the time, like, actually slept on it and worked on this, I could iron out a lot of little kinks. But like, this is a great skeleton here. These are good bones. This is sick. This is exactly what we want, right? We've got a ramp spell. We've got 2 things. This one just like wins. Cool. Okay, so let's draw a card for turn. Vengraph is great. We'll start with the nursery. Turn 2. We don't even like need these things. Let's just get another land. I like land cyclers. They give us something to do. And turn 3, we're just gonna start going for it here. So we'll forest. So this is the end of our turn 3, and then turn 4. Oh, I like that too. We've got 5 mana. Let's play Thawbringer first. Actually, you know what we'll do is, we'll play our commander first. And then we'll go next turn. Now we'll untap, and we've got 6 mana. So we can do a number of things. We're definitely going to play the Thawbringer. And we're going to Surveil. Perfect. That's a great card. More cheap stuff to do is what we really want. We'll attack. We'll bend. I guess we can just do this and bend this for 2. Because we have 2 creatures with power 4 or greater. Then, like, end of turn, we'll cast Presence of Ages and reveal top 4. We'll just get these 2. These go in the graveyard. Leave the Stimpy, kind of sucks to see it go, but whatever. All right. And then like once we start doing this stuff, we're really on the gravy train. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So let's go 1, 2, 3. We'll get this out there. We'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll get this. We'll get more lands. And we'll attack, and we can even just like keep bending onto the same thing, I think, right? We can just power 4 creator, target land becomes a 0/0 creature with haste, still land, next one counters. Yeah, we can just keep stacking counters on this if we want. Like, we'll attack with attack. 1, 2, 3. So make this a 5/5. Seems good. Okay. And now we can start doing this stuff. Sacrifice this. Let's discover. Discover 5 or 5, I think, right? 4, sorry. Migratory Greathorn. Can I cast this for some mutate cost with Hidden Nursery? Hold on. No, we'll just put it into our hand. I don't think you can cast it for its mutate cost if we're doing that. Put these on the bottom. Alright, we've got 3 more mana, so now we can even... Oh, what we'll do first is we'll attack, right? We get 3, so put this back up here. Actually, no, we'll do this one. And then, post-combat, we'll mutate onto it. So it's a 6/7, and then we'll get a land. And then next turn we can start bending onto our Hidden Nursery again. Oof. Yeah, just like combat trick. I like it. It's cool. It's neat. Now we have so much mana now. So like we can just like play out a thing. Like set this guy up. We'll clash. We lose the clash because we have a land. So it's just a 4/2. If you win the clash, he just gets a lone counter. It just becomes a 5/3. So it's inconsequential. The important thing is that he's a big creature that makes everything block him. And then we'll go to combat. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll make this a 5/5. Whoops. And then this is still a land. It's just like a huge land. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and discover this. I will happily cast Nissa's Pilgrimage. And I have Spell Mastery. So we're getting 3 forests, 1 to the battlefield, 2 to my hand. Yeah, this is busto. Alright, one more. 753, we can do another one. Oh, this is the Citadel hand. Okay. This hand is great. We have our engine land. We have an indestructible thing. We have a couple guys and a harmonious emergence too. Woof. Okay. Yeah, let's go for it. Not doing anything for a while, but that's okay. Oh, good. We got a cycler, so we have something to do. Boom. Cycle. Give me a land. Turn 3. What are we doing turn 3? We're casting our Nest Guard. Oh, Spider Clone. Turn 4, we are casting our Boulder. Or Boulder. And now we have our Panorama and our Darksteel Citadel. We've got more stuff. So let's see. Let's cast us a Wrestler. Make a treasure. This will help us a little bit here. Because then what we can do is we can go to combat, bend this for 3, sacrifice the treasure, sacrifice this, re-enters, get us another forest. Works for me. Oh, I like this. Here's something cool, because this can also return lands to our hand too. If we want to like do like the Quirion Ranger thing, where if we miss a natural land drop, we can fake one by returning a land to our hand and then just doing that while also just getting another big guy. Yeah, so land for turn. Now what we can do is, let's see. Let's get the Oracle out here. And we'll draw a card. This card's like less good if we're not like just bending onto all of our different things. But let's start doing that. So let's just make this a 4/4 indestructible thing. Yeah, that's all we need to do. Hidden Nursery. We'll bend. We'll make this a 5/5. We don't need to do that. We don't need to like be sacrificing this every turn, right? We can just make an army of lands. And we can axe draw. I'll keep that one on top, and I'll put a counter on this. Beautiful. So like you can do the fair thing, or you could do like the unfair thing, unfair thing, right? Just ramp yourself every turn, or like discover every turn, or whatever. But there's a lot of different ways you can play this, which is what I kind of like about it. And like, look, we just got a lot of gas in our hand, you know. Like that's the great thing about it, right? Like we don't need to double spell every turn because we cast one creature and we get another one for free. So we're adding 2 creatures to the board every turn. Or we're adding a creature to the board at least every turn with our commander, even if we don't, cast anything else. We just get a free creature. So we aren't like dumping our hand onto the battlefield without being able to refill it. We just kind of avoid that problem altogether. But here, like we can do 1, 2, 3, some Macedonians with a counter. All the counter stuff's great because we have this Twisted Spider clone to buff everything up. We attack, we turn this nursery into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 8. Seems good. And then, like, we could even do something like this, right? We could even attack with this, and then post-combat we could just Spider-Man this thing back, and then explore again next turn, and get another land. Right? This feels great. Urban Daggertooth is awesome. Let's guess this, you know what? We're going to put Harmonious Emergence on this Darksteel Citadel. So now it's an 8/9. How do I set? I guess it's a land, so I can't like. There we go. It's an 8/9. Whoops, not an 8/98. That's pretty good. 8/9. Yeah, so this is great. Obviously, like you can take out a lot of the cute stuff I did and like really kind of lean into the powerful stuff a lot more. This seemed powerful to me. I mean, you can really do whatever you want. All you really need are big creatures, cool lands, and like whatever else you want. It's pretty flexible in terms of like what this deck wants. It asks very little of you, which is what I like about it. I didn't get to see some of the cool stuff, like didn't get to do a big palm break, druid, proliferate, or anything like that. But yeah, this one's done. Okay, we're wrapping it up here. I'm really impressed with this commander. I think this is a lot cooler than I initially thought it would be. I thought it would be pretty sweet, but there's actually a lot of really cool stuff you can do. I wonder how this would shake out in like a regular commander deck, right? Like if you just built a commander deck around this with a lot more resources, a lot more cool lands. But this version is really sweet. Thank y'all for hanging out and chatting and going along for the ride here. Definitely, check this one out and play with it on your own. There's a lot of cool stuff to do, and I'm pretty sure I've just kind of scratched the surface. No. Nobody's ever annoying help. My brain has so many magic cards floating around in it that any help to focus my thoughts is helpful. So no worries there, my friend. But yeah, deck list is going to be in the description as always. Link to the list with all of the deck lists that we've done on our weekly streams is in the description as well. And below that, you'll find 2 links to Trevor Project and Trans Lifeline. If you want to donate to those organizations, I recommend that you do so. Trans Week Visibility Week is this week, so no better time, in my opinion. But that being said, thank you all for coming again. I really appreciate it. And we'll see you next week. We'll do another cool thing. Maybe another avatar. Who knows how many of these things? There's so many avatars out there. Maybe we'll build another one. Who knows? But in the meantime, goodbye now.